is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's been a long while since I did that first vlog, so if you haven't watched it yet, please feel free to browse over my previous videos and go check it out. So previously I told you for the second vlog I'm gonna do a full review of this kit, which is the Millenium MPS850. However, after a few months I wasn't able to produce that video in the timeline that I planned to, for the two reasons that one, I got caught up with work, and another reason is that something terrible happened with my files. So I've already spent too much effort and time in doing the video, shot the clips, did the editing, and just when I was about to render the whole video, something happened and the video editing software that I'm using just showed that some files has been damaged.
It really hurts.
So because there are some clips there that requires separate audio from which should be coming from the drums itself, the disruption from the files caused the sequence to collapse altogether, so it will be very hard for me to continue editing that video and to produce. So after a few weeks of sulking and being bummed out of everything that's happened, I just decided to shoot a few bits of the vlog and just go with whatever files that's left that can still be used for this video. So without further ado, let's start the vlog, and I hope you enjoy this one. Alright, so what is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're gonna make another video and we're gonna talk about my Millenium MPS850. We're gonna talk about the price, the advantages, disadvantages, and whatever else it can offer. So before we go to the actual review of the hardware, the software, the specs, and the stock kits that this drum kit has, we're gonna talk about first how I decided to go for the Millenium MPS850. So before I made a decision, I put in a lot of effort in doing research.
Oh, no.
Getting to know what's in the market at the time, what are the options that I should consider.
Options.
What are the things that I need to know about the product that I'm gonna be buying. I just want to point out the main factors that I have considered before buying an e-drum kit. First, the price. Second is the specs. The third is to make sure that it will serve the purpose that I want for it. So, like as I've said in the previous video, I'm not a gigging drummer anymore. I don't go out and play live gigs. I'm currently not in a band, but over a year ago I've played a live show here in Dublin with some Filipino musicians as well. Shout out to you guys. But I think that was the first and the last gig that I've had so far, actually. So I decided to get the drum kit for my own, just to, you know, get back on the drumming. So I decided to be an enthusiast.
That's fancy. Real fancy.
And to just be a home drummer. So when I was about to buy these drums, I am on a very tight budget. So I didn't really want to buy like the most expensive or the most high-end model out there, because I don't really need such high quality in any aspect or in any level of it. So I just want like a decent drum kit, the one that I can practice with, the one that I can play with, and if I decide to record, I will have a facility for me to be able to produce a quality drum sound. I've spent like months looking for different brands and different models out there in the market, and I came across this brand Millenium MPS. So it has different variants as well, but I think as of the Millenium MPS series today, the Millenium MPS850 is the latest variant of it. I've considered some other established brands out there that already has a good reputation when it comes to drum kits, but I came across this Millenium MPS850, and as soon as I saw the picture, I already knew that I want this kind of drum set.
Oh my god! Wow!
And as I've said in previous video, the one that really sold me is the pin control hi-hat, which is like a must for me personally. So when I looked into it, I saw that it is also a mesh. For an e-drum kit to have a mesh skin, It's kind of like the closest feel I can get to the acoustic drum kit. So those are the two main things that caught my attention with this Millenium MPS850. So I tried to look around for some different brands which has the same features, but the price compared to this is quite out of my range at the time. So that's how I finally arrived in getting this Millenium MPS850. It's not the top brand, but like the module, the software, and the hardware of it is decent enough to fit into what I have in mind when I was deciding to purchase. So that's the story of how I got this Millenium MPS850, and so far I'm very satisfied with it, with just very minimal issues, but like I can live with it, guys. So with that being said, let's go and let's have a look on the hardware of the Millenium MPS850. So this is the full kit of the Millenium MPS850. I got this actually as a bundle purchase. So it came with the headphones, which is Super Lux headphones. It's a really good quality. It has a noise cancelling and it's very comfortable to wear. It came with this as well, a drum stool, which is I think also a Millenium. And so with the drums, this is actually a 6-piece kit, which has a snare, 2 rack toms and 2 floor toms, and then the kick drums. And here is the specific sizes of them so that you would have an idea. So it has a quite complete set of cymbals. You have a left crash, you have a right crash, you have a ride, and as I've said, the open and close hi-hat. So this is the hi-hat stand, which is kind of basically the same as the common hi-hat stands that you see in any other drum kits or acoustic drum kits. And so far I don't have any issues with regards to durability, functionality, it's okay. And you have the module, and you can see this is a 3-sided rack, 2 on the sides and 1 short in the middle, which is a very versatile rack. You can set it up as compact as you can and only consume a very narrow space. But then if you also want a wider reach, then you can actually spread it further. It actually has a very good set of measurements. And it also came with a drum pedal, which is a Millenium as well, a single drum pedal, but the size of the drum kit actually can accommodate a double pedal. So if you're using double pedals, then it actually works perfectly well. And as I've said, this is a mesh drum kit, and you can actually adjust the tightness of the mesh, depends on your preference. So it gives you a feel of a real drum kit. So that's a very good plus for me. So now we'll have a closer look on the rims and on the mesh itself, the skin, and the drum module. We'll have a closer look for you to be able to see the mesh and the material and the quality of its hardware. So this is the snare drum of the kit. So if you can see, this is made of a mesh. The rim is made of rubber. So if you can see, it's like a silk screen which has a feel of acoustic drum head, and it has 6 lugs, and you can actually adjust the tightness of it depending on your preferences and on the feel. For the durability of it, it can actually withstand the standard impact of the sticks when you hit it when playing. As I've said before, I'm a hard hitter, so if you can see, the rim is already torn into pieces, nearly gone.
Oh my god!
But apart from that, there are no changes with regards to the sound that it's making, so I'm still quite happy with that. So next, I'm gonna show to you guys the kick drums. So if you can see, I'm using a double pedal here, which actually fits nicely for the size of the kick pad that it has. There's just an issue with the mesh because I think it has something to do with the material of the beater as well. So when I tried the felt, it easily damaged the mesh. So I turned it over with the plastic beater, but still kind of has the same reaction. So when you see it, you'll actually think that it's torn into the inside, but I actually put like a layer of cloth in it, and I cut out some old leather and put it over to protect the actual mesh itself. And so far it's doing a great job in protecting the mesh from the beater.
Nice.
So next we're going to take a look on the hi-hat pedal and the hi-hat stand. So it's pretty much the same as the acoustic hi-hat pedal, and it's quite sensitive enough to catch the trigger of when it's closed and when it's open. And if you can see at the bottom, there's the control in there. It has a different AV output, This basically triggers the open and the close hi-hat from this one. So now we're gonna go to the cymbals. So if you can see, there's a part of the cymbal which is covered with kind of a rubbery material so that it can absorb the impact of the sticks, which is a very good feature that actually helps dampen the sound of the sticks. And if you can see, it's quite thick on the edge because this is actually a the ride is a 3-zone ride, if I'm not mistaken. It has a bell, the ride, and it has a choke. So actually a choke is like bsh. So when you hit it, you can choke. So we're gonna move on to the module. So if you can see on the left side, there is the volume controls. You have the master, the auxiliary in, and the phone. So the master volume controls like literally the master sound of the kit. The auxiliary in is for the auxiliary input. You can connect your phone or an MP3 player to feed a sound into the module if you want to use a backing track. And the phones as well is for the earphones. If you can see down here, you have different set of levels. So you can read kick, snare, tom, hi-hat, crash, and ride. So from the module itself, you can already level it down to your preferences before it goes down to the mixer. So this is actually a very essential part of this. So as you can see, there are some buttons there for the menu to move upward and downward, to enter, exit, and you can introduce a tempo on it. So if you press that, you can select a tempo. So now it's set on 100 BPM, or you can just adjust it here if you want. That's it. So you can just raise it up a bit if you want. So this is the click. So if you want to click, if you can hear it, so it sets in 4/4, so that's the usual measure that I use. And it also features some songs in the module itself wherein you can play along and you can practice along with the tune. So you can just press it here and it'll just play and you can play along with it. This one as well, if you want to record yourself into the module, which is kind of okay anyway, but nowadays we usually use some VSTs and DAWs for that. But if you want to record it straight from the module, you can do that from here as well. So apart from it has a total of 50 stock kits that you can choose from, you can actually modify the kits. For example, you can take the sound of the snare from one stock, you can take the sound of the tom from the other stock, and you can save it as one whole kit. So which is very awesome, and it's pretty nice actually. So as for the quality of the sound, you can actually tweak a little bit from it. So basically, for example, if I wanted to modify the sound of the snare, you can adjust the volume from here. And if you go down, you can pan it. So if you put it negative, it will go on the left earphones, basically. And if you go on the plus, it will go on the right. So it's just on the 0 at the moment, so it's in the middle. You can adjust the pitch of it. You can adjust you can put a reverb on it as well. And you can put a decay, and I think that's pretty much it. And the rest of them, you have to use the DAW on the output for you to adjust further. But like for it to have that kind of adjustment, it's actually a very helpful feature. So we'll go on to the plugs into the back of the module. So if you've watched my previous videos, one of the most important feature of this as well is the USB MIDI output, which is here. So you can just directly connect it to your computer. You can put a USB memory here, and you have the earphone jack, you have the traditional MIDI output, you have the actual output on the right and the left, and mono. And for the cables of the triggers, the standard kit is actually in here. And if you can see, there's the trigger for the tom and the crash, which are like an extra feature, which is the fourth tom and the second crash on the right. And if you can see here, there's the auxiliary input, in which you can connect your MP3 player, laptop, or whatever source of music that you want to put when you want to play along. So I just want to show it to you guys the kind of coupling that it has. It's actually quite sturdy and also very easy to manipulate. This is very straightforward. So you won't have to worry about. So that is it for the first part of this vlog. Please do watch out for the next video, because for the second part of this vlog, I'll be showing you some of the stock kits and how they actually sound without editing, without VSTs, without EQ manipulation, and plus I'll be throwing in some footages of the vlogs that I did before to give you an idea on what other things that I'm up to whenever I'm not doing the drums. If you want to check that out, please do watch out for the upcoming vlogs. So if you haven't done this yet, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel, and watch out for the upcoming videos that I will be releasing.